Welcome to the Pink Lady Posse podcast, Women Who Refuse to Disappear. You are either creating your life or living one you inherited. Friction management. It matters because breakthrough is your way out of drift. See the drag? Return to say. Let's go. Hi, everybody. I'm Sandy Parker Martinez with Pink Lady Posse podcast. And I'm with Anna McCoy, who I've known for quite a while.
Yeah.
She's right up there with A Woman to Know in my book. And she is in applied AI and a product lead and investor in EBW, which is empowering a billion women. So, hello, Miss Anna.
Hello there. I'm excited to be with you. And hello to your audience. And thank you for listening to us. So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, so I just said to Anna, when this goes live and someone's hearing this, you could deliver the message you want them to know. She started reeling out this, it's your time, and I'm like, okay, wait, we got to hit record and just go. So tell me again what you were saying about this time for women.
I believe that this time for women is the best time that we have ever seen. It may not seem like that for some, but here's what's amazing. Every dream that you may have had or have, every idea, we can bring those things into form, not in long periods, but in very, very short moments, seconds maybe. And then when we think about women's ability to take action, first of all, we are doers. And now we have something that can actually help us to bring form to those ideas and bring manifestation to those ideas. It's our time. And it doesn't matter how old or young you are, it's your time.
Okay, so when you say we have the tools to bring it into form,
Mhm.
what the heck are you talking about? Are
Well,
you
for
saying,
those,
go
yeah.
ahead.
So for those that don't understand that language, I come from two places. Number one, I come from the spiritual space that
Mhm.
you have the ability to bring things into form. Like we are words housed in flesh. Now I want you to hear that right quick because I heard it yesterday when I was working with a client who is a part of a group. And he kept saying to me, I kept hearing this, we're words housed in flesh, meaning that we contain, first of all, within ourselves, we are a word housed in flesh. Then when you think about all of your ideas and different things, they're housed in this flesh. Now listen carefully to what I'm saying. So when it comes to your ability to dream again, this is the perfect time. And how are you going to do that? And why I'm here today is because I am a person that feels compelled. I absolutely feel compelled to bring this message to women and men all over the world because we have never been at this place where we've had a tool like generative AI that can actually help you see what you're seeing on the inside like in seconds. And this is why this is so powerful for any person. But I mean, I'm a person of the spirit, I am a believer, and I know that I have been practicing this principle to see what's on the inside and then to bring that forward to
Hmm.
real manifestation in my life. It has been very, very hard to do. And now we have this tool that we call Chat GPT, Claude, Gemini. It's got all different types of platform names, but it's artificial intelligence, which has many, many forms, and it's been around for a very long time.
Okay, so, I live in a town of 800 people.
Okay.
If I were to down the street and go, do you know this is our time because of generative AI? They might call the police on me. I mean, it's
Well,
like,
they would, and I wouldn't say they should. I think they would ask you, well, what is that? Right? What do you mean? What do you
what
mean by this is our time?
what do we mean? And but let me just say this. The one thing that I just remembered what based on what you said is before something exists, it
Mm-hmm.
was an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
EBW stands for Empowering a Billion Women. And there was this need for something related to the time we were in. I think
Yes.
it was masks or something.
Yes. PPE. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we huddled up a group of women.
Mm-hmm.
They huddled up the money, they huddled up the manufacturing, and it was in reality in a very short period of time.
Absolutely. When I think about, let's go back to, if someone asked me what is generative AI. When I said AI has been around for a long time, we've been exposed to it. Now, when it started back in the 40s, 50s, it's a whole nother artificial intelligence than what we're talking about today. These were big systems where they were trying to teach these systems, and they were trying to teach them and mirror them like the human brain.
Hmm.
Well, now we think we're actually talking to a AI that's like a human, but let's be real here. The AI is, it's a digit in a digit. It's zeros and ones when you start to get behind it. It's not a human being. And I tell people all the time, first of all, before you get too emotional with what we call generative AI, which is natural language processing, it's, and I'm telling you the types of generative AI. Most people think this is it, but what generative AI does is it generates different outcomes like text, which is natural language processing, which simply means the generative AI responds like a natural human.
Okay.
Okay, that natural
Mhm.
language means that it can communicate back to you in text, in voice, in imaging, now in video. It could do visual things, you know, it could take an image and tell you, interpret what that visual item is. So when we're thinking about generative AI, why this is so important is because it has, the brilliance of the technology has met with a common person. And this is why it's so brilliant and why it's so amazing and why this is the best time, that if you have a dream, you have a vision, you have an idea. And this, let me explain this to you. Now, will AI create something for you? Eventually it will, because we've been using AI automation in tools and building, what do you call this, manufacturing lines. When you think about automobiles, that's all run by AI. So yes, it builds things now. That's not new. Your fraudulent alerts you get on your phone, that is AI. Those are some of the first uses of AI that the common people aren't using. When
Right.
you think about why is Amazon so big, is because we were hearing one word that we all thought we really knew about, and that word is algorithm. Everybody started saying, oh, the algorithm. Oh, that's how they use data. They have this algorithm. Well, that algorithm has to be run by something, and it's choosing something,
Mhm.
right? And so all of that, those were our introductions to AI. Why is it when you go into Amazon and they say this is for you, it's a recommendation, because AI is able, now that you know it, if you have a whole Excel sheet or your bank statement or whatever it is, don't put your bank statement in there with your personal information, cut it off and then take a picture, okay? I got to throw that in there because somebody was going to say, well, I
I
heard her
know.
say. So you don't want to give any personal identifying information. But even if you took your bank, your, to simplify this, if you took your bank statement, cut it off at the top, then took a picture of it, nobody knows where it's from. It's just data, okay? Put it in Chat GPT and ask a question or tell it to organize it the way that it's helpful to you. Mm, get that? That's AI at work, being able to visually see it. Now, once it sees it, it's going to recreate all the information. So now it has all of the transactions in a form. So now you can ask it a question and it can tell you that you spent 45% of your income on food last month. So when we're talking about this AI, businesses and corporations and governments have been using it long before, let me say it again, the common person like
Right.
you, like me, that can open it up. And it's really limited in this space to your ability to think about what's hurting, what's painful for you in your life right now. If it's it could be your health, and I'll use myself in that way. When it came out, Chat GPT came out in 2022, 23. I went to the doctor. It was during the winter months. It was I believe it was like around May, April, May. My A1Cs were up high, and they was like, "Well, we need to give you some metformin. Y'all know if your A1Cs is up high, what that first drug is going to be is what is it, metformin."
Metformin.
Metformin. I told the doctor, I said, "Oh no." I said, "First of all, I know what kind of habits I've had this winter. So I tell you what, I don't want your metformin. I'm going to go home and I'm going to take a picture of what's in my refrigerator, what's in my pantry, and I'm going to ask this AI, what do I need to throw away? What do I need to throw away? And what meals can I create?" Now, this is 25 now. That was in either 2022 or 2023. And literally, it gave me all this information. It created menus for me. It told me to stop eating this, this, and this. Because now, when I say it told me to stop it, let me be clear. What it told me was that based on if you have diabetes, then you should eat low glycemic food, right? That's our carbohydrates, or those things that are low in sugar. So when I said it told me to throw, to do this, well, it told me to throw that bread away, throw those chips away. No, you can't eat that. You can't eat the rice right now. You can't eat those cookies you got on the shelf over there. That's the kind of stuff that it started to tell me, because guess what? It understands the glycemic index. I don't. And so here we are, we're just human beings, these common folks out here trying to make it, trying to just do something. And I'm telling you, when you look at where are you hurting? Are you hurting in your health? Are you hurting in your wealth? Are you hurting in your job, your systems? Most times you don't need just another tool, another AI tool, because you see them all over social media. You don't need to create your hero image. You don't need to create your Sora flying like I've done. Do you understand? But what you need are the tools that can actually fix what's hurting, not only in your life, but in your business, maybe your relationships. Those kinds of things, when you start to reframe, reimagine, and shift your mindset about this magnificent tool. Now, there are bad habits, but it's not you. So I'm of the mindset, let's jump in there. Let's jump in there before they say we can't use it no more.
Yeah.
Because of all the bad actors, and really start to think about what's hurting you in your life and see if you can communicate. And I would suggest you communicate by voice. I mean, for 3 years we were really texting and typing and trying to come up. Your brain doesn't think as fast as you speak. Your brain doesn't feel what you feel in your heart. Your
So let
brain
me
doesn't
let me just
have the
clarify.
emotion.
When
Yeah.
you say speak, that means like I open Chat GPT and speak to
Yes.
it instead of
Yes.
type into it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So
All
you
right.
have on all the platforms now, what we're seeing is we're starting to, uniform things, whereas before everybody was doing their thing, whereas
Right.
now we're starting to, if it's a microphone here, it's a speech bar here, this is what it means. The microphone may mean, just dictate the typed word, right?
Mhm.
Dictation. The sound bar means you can have a conversation. If you see on an app, whether it's Gemini or whether it's maybe Copilot or something, they're starting to, you got to figure out what is that icon. Most of them are using the stars, some type of either 1 star, 2 star, 3 stars that shows you that this is AI. So that's what I mean by the platforms are becoming more uniform. There are also, when it comes to the chat window, one of the most important places that you can look, I don't care which one of these platforms you're using, but hit that plus sign where you're putting, like if you were getting ready to send that text or to communicate by type, hit the plus sign, because that's where you're going to see all your features. Because these are platforms, these are not chat bots.
Okay, so I want to go back and summarize the way I see it.
Hmm.
because it's not technical.
Yes.
If I were here and I needed to have a good diet for pre-diabetic, and
Hmm.
I went to a nutritionist and I said, tell me what you recommend to eat and what you recommend I don't eat. And they gave me information and a diet plan,
Hmm.
I would be grateful.
Yes.
But now I can literally go into Chat GPT or another format and
Hmm.
act as if they're an information assistant.
Yeah. Or you can act as if they're your nutritionist.
Yeah. So when I say it's like having an assistant it's like
Yes.
asking an assistant, hey, help me do this.
Exactly.
You literally are relating data and your thoughts, but they also have context for
Yes.
how it works together. Because I could
Yes.
hold up box of cookies and go, this has too much sugar.
Hmm.
But they can literally put together a plan that includes all those boxes in the pantry and
Yes.
says that maybe not this one. Remember when Dr. Phil I think Dr. Phil used to do that and go to people's pantry and say, this
Yeah.
got to go, this got to go, this got to
Or
go.
Dr. Oz, one of the
Oh,
two.
one of those, yeah. I
Yes.
remember thinking, I don't want him to come to my pantry.
Well, I think too, when you think about that, when we, even the example you gave with a nutritionist has given you this,
Hmm.
you can take that information, take those pictures of what's in your refrigerator or what's in your pantry, and see what aligns. If you don't have it, or if you do have it, you can have it create a shopping list for you, right? Your basic things. So here's the thing is that we're not trying to use another tool. We've got tools all around us. We have technology all around us. And at some point in your journey, you feel like, I don't want to do any of this. And that's true. This AI is showing up everywhere you are. If you're still on Facebook, if you're listening to a podcast, it'll, even if you're listening probably to Spotify or podcast on your phone, you probably have an AI summarizer of what this was about based on the transcript that you're listening to. So it's all around you. So learning how to use it, even if you don't know where to go, like,
Hmm.
I've never used this before. Well, if you still on Facebook or if you have an iPhone, it's right there on your tool. Siri now, you can have her, can you connect me with Chat GPT or can you answer this? Again, she's powered by the OpenAI Chat GPT platform. And the other thing, if you're on Facebook, you already, if you use messaging, well, that little AI star over there, it's there too.
Right.
And so you can use that to practice on. You don't have to go get another subscription to anything. You can use Meta's AI to ask it to write an email reply for you. Or let's say you need to write the IRS because you don't have any money to pay them. Well, this is really good because I've done it too. Is write the and tell them this is my situation, and the thing will write an IRS letter for you. If you have, like, if you're fixing your credit, you can ask it to tell me, how can I fix my credit? This is what it looks like. What bills do I need to pay? These are the, or you can show them your credit score, take off your personal identifying information though, and it will help you to pay that back. These are the kinds of things that do cause pain in your life, and if it's relational, you can ask a question. That's why I say you need to talk. Just say what you say what you got to say and see how it comes out. Practice it on someone. If you're trying to get a job, interview with the AI and then ask it to give you some tips on how you can do better. And this is why it's so powerful. Just like I'm speaking right now, it can measure my cadence, my rhythm, where it might feel like maybe I'm nervous or maybe I'm overly confident, and give me some analysis. And then there are obviously apps or websites that you could go to, because so many job situations are video driven, that you can practice with this technology as well.
One thing I want to say is there is a natural resistance to change.
Mm-hmm.
Like we go, oh my gosh, my car is so different. I don't even know how to push the button, it used to be a year, right? When we're moving in time forward,
Mm-hmm.
it's not uncommon to kind of resist it at first.
Mm-hmm.
But education is where you get the understanding, or else you're sort of in the dark going, what is all this?
Mm-hmm.
We don't
Well,
need to
I
live like that.
no, and I found that for the from the eldest to the youngest, the same response happens. Wow. Because the human brain has a tendency, it knows, it literally knows. I mean, when we go to pick up something, your brain knows how long that's going to take, right? Like your brain is measuring that for you.
Mhm.
And if you said to yourself, I'm going to go and walk a mile, you got to deal with what this brain is about to say. Oh, you don't have that much time, right? That's the first thing. A whole mile, that's going to take you 30, 45 minutes. We can do something else. Well, when a person sees AI in action, when they used to do these things immediately, when they see it's done and they've never really seen it before, just like every one of us who used it first, we're like, whoa, what is this? Then when you read it, you're like, this makes sense. Oh, wait a minute, I want to change this. And then all of a sudden you realize that, wait a minute, I think there's something to this. How you use this? And I have taught 8-year-olds and I've taught 80-year-olds. And that same response is there because we all want to be able to do things faster, more efficient, wherever we are on the spectrum. It just looks a little bit different to us.
You know
Now I'm
what?
going to say this. Go ahead.
Now, what I love is the sense of empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to give away our power to someone else to figure it out for us.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm looking at
Absolutely.
you, Miss Anna McCoy, and I'm going, now listen, she is maybe over 50.
Yes. In fact, I'm in my sixth decade.
And I'm going, here is this beautiful woman in her sixth decade who's an applied AI educator,
Right,
an
right.
advocate, an evangelist. And I'm like,
Yes.
what world did I just flip in?
I feel like honestly, and this is why I am so strong in my communication, is because there is no excuse. Many people say I'm too old, but I feel like listen to me, and I know who your audience is. When I tell you this is your time, and the reason why it's your time, if you're 50, maybe 60 and above, you're not done yet. And if you're still breathing, you're not done yet. And if there's something inside of you that you wanted to do, whether it's writing a book, see, these are the kinds of things that it's not about us doing. Writing a book and telling your life story is being. It's you wanting to share this experience with other people that whenever you write a book, you're writing it for an audience of one. If there's one person that something in your story has inspired them, helped them to have a transformation, that is a part of your life being because you know that experience that you went through was so impactful for you. It was so hurtful. It was unforgivable that you don't want another person to experience this.
Yeah.
And see, when I say that's worth writing about,
Mm,
that's worth talking about, being on a podcast or doing your YouTube channel, whatever it is that you want to do. But what's going to make it all easier is if you use this technology, change your mindset, shift it. That's the creative side. That's the creative side. When I talked about when I started talking about this technology, I'm also talking about to those in business that I'm saying if you had a dream and if you want to attach it to age and you feel like you're young enough to still do it, let me tell you, most women rise to the height of their productivity, their efficiency, their brilliance when they're in their 50s. Why? Because they was doing everybody else's business before then. And there's this thing that when you're about 50 or 60, you're prayerful that all your people are doing their own work. They're handling their own people. They're healthy. And now this generation, my generation, maybe yours, we are taking care of our parents because they're living longer. And I'm just saying, regardless to what you have to do, whether you have a house, a multi-generational household, and you got to figure out your schedules. You can do that with this and make it easy. You can figure out your meal plans, make it easy, and just do it. Why are you thinking about this, but yet in your heart you feel overwhelmed, you feel overworked, you feel all of these things that women have been feeling for decades, at least the decades that I've been here. And now, somebody asked me, oh, not a problem, I got that. Not a problem. Why? Because I know it's going to take me 2 minutes to do, or maybe 10 minutes to do, and I'm moving on to the next thing. And I don't feel the stress of it, guys. I don't feel that stress. And I'm saying you don't have to do what I do. Now, I have taken and spent over 1,700 hours learning about artificial intelligence starting at the age of 55, 56. And I'm 60 now. Do you understand? I'm not asking you to learn AI like that. I'm just asking you to shift your mindset, stop hurting so much in things that we could probably help you to fix with some technology, because you don't have the bandwidth, nor do you have the capacity to do. So if you're a business owner, you absolutely need to be looking at every place that's causing pain, and then look at the things that you're doing or the actions that's keeping that pain in motion. That's where we start. When we start talking about workflows, we start at that point. What's really hurting right now? Is it your bottom line? Is it your health? Is it what's hurting you? And then I'm going to ask the question, what are you doing to keep that cycle moving in your life? If it's burnout, what are you doing? If you tell me what you're doing, then we're going to re-engineer so we can give you more capacity. That means, oh, let's figure out, maybe we can take that off your plate. Maybe we can use an agent to answer your emails. Maybe we can use an agent to answer your phone, to book an appointment for people who still call, or maybe in your emails. Just this one thing, schedule a meeting with me. And maybe it's too much for you right now. That's where you need people with technical capacities who can help to lighten your load. All of that is automation.
Yeah, the other thing that occurs to me is when I'm connected to bright women,
Mm-hmm.
I inherit
Yes.
what they're learning.
Yes.
So it's not like I have to be by myself in this office and figure it out.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
big thing about what I'm a stand for is that every woman is surrounded by bright women,
Yes.
because
Bright
of
pink women.
pink women. And when I just did my TEDx talk, and the topic was,
Congratulations.
thanks. It was thrilling and nerve wracking. And the topic was, we assume a long winding down is coming at 50 or
Yes.
60. Oh boy,
Mm-hmm.
here we're going. We're going to have this long
Yeah.
winding down. We could, in fact, have this joyful, grand reveal of everything we ever wanted to do, and now faster, better,
Mm-hmm.
together,
Yeah.
celebrating to the
Absolutely.
last minute we're alive.
Absolutely.
How
And
about
I love,
that?
let me tell you, I absolutely love the point you just made about the wind down. Again, change your mindset, shift your mindset. I cannot imagine, honestly. I know, I just know, I just cannot imagine. And I pray every day, Lord, just let me keep my mind. I feel like I'm going to be that 80 or 90-year-old woman still trying to figure this out on the next wave, on the quantum wave, quantum computers, whatever's coming next. Just give me a
Mm-hmm.
strong mind to continue to evolve. You mentioned that people are so afraid of change. There are three types of change. The first one is the crisis change. Usually people will change because they have no other choice in a
Right.
crisis. The
Mm-hmm.
second one is the evolving, when things evolve and evolution comes, that you still play a little bit of tug of war with. You feel like you still have a little control, and you may decide, I'm just going to keep my tape player. I don't want digital. I don't want Spotify, because every now and then I like to pick up my LP, which now is working for you if you kept that, what we
And
used to
you see
call
my record
Victrola.
player?
I was just getting ready to say,
I love
you,
to put on a good record.
this is my
Quick
point.
question. Have you noticed how easy it is to drift through this season of life? Not unhappy, just slightly checked out. Yeah, that. At Think Pink, we don't fix women. We help them come alive again. Honest conversation. Easy occasions for discovery. No duct taping a smile over burnout. No reinvent your entire life by Tuesday. Just people who care and gentle nudges that help you feel like yourself again. I mean, the truth is, you can't be your best self by yourself. If that sentence made something in you nod, we made a free Think Pink starter gift just for you. Come take a look. No fixing, just connection. Go to pinkladyposse.com and click on Think Pink. Stay awake to your own life and not alone.
I was just getting ready to say,
I love to put on a good record.
this is my point. You can hold on to that record player if you want to. And then the third one is when we think about what is visionary change. When you start to look at things a little bit differently, and I'm not recommending you adopt all technology, you adopt everything that changes. No. But what I am asking you to do is look through a visionary lens. And when you do that, you want to look to, first of all, you want to understand this technology, even if you don't use it, because depending on where you are in your life journey, if you set up these barriers, you're going to miss opportunities, right? They're telling us, I mean, trillions of dollars are going to be spent. In this lifetime, we will see a zillionaire. I'm certain of it. Before everybody who is living today die, we're probably going to see a zillionaire. And the reason for that is this technology. And so when you shut down certain ideologies, then you don't get an opportunity to participate. But if you pay attention and you look at it from a visionary space, look at it, how vision is about seeing what's ahead. It's like widening your view. It's like taking a bit of time to say, let me go check this out. Let me take one course in AI for myself. I don't want to listen to my neighbor. I don't want to listen to the favorite channel or the favorite podcast that I'm listening to. Let me go do it for myself and put my own eye on it. And I believe that when you do that, you're going to hear, depending on where you are, you're going to hear the naysayers and the ones that say, go for it. But in between that space, if you do it for yourself, you're intelligent, you're able, you're smart, you have discernment, and then make your decision about how you feel about this. Because this is not one to sit on the sideline and give this responsibility of decision to someone else, some television anchor that they don't even know. They're just reading off a teleprompter based on what somebody gave them, but they themselves, they have no conviction about this anyway, because they haven't done their own research. Right. And I'm saying to you, out of all the inventions you've seen in your lifetime, this is like, AI is like when electricity was invented. It wasn't invented here, but we implemented it, guys, in America. That's what made America this place where it could go fast forward, because everybody else saw it and it was like, oh, okay, that's nice. But we're just going to leave that for the wealthy people or something. America got a hold to the light, y'all, and look at what we're living in. So when I tell you this is one of those things in history that you don't sit on the sidelines. You have to, I don't care who you are, what you're doing, how old your children are. You got kids in college, grandkids in college, and they are scared. They're scared, but they're not scared enough to understand what this technology is and how it will apply to the things that they are learning today. And so if that didn't do it for you, I don't know what will. Sandy, what's going to happen?
It's funny. I worked for a church, Highland Park Methodist Church in Dallas. We had 15,000 members, a big old
Okay.
church.
Yeah.
And I was a communication director when voicemail was born. And we had a pastoral care staff, I think 15 pastoral care people.
Yes.
And they were like, this is not going to work.
Right.
Nobody is going to call and leave a message that their husband passed away.
Right.
I mean, literally, I had to beg them, just try it.
Yes.
And
Well,
now,
I can tell you, I was one of the persons selling it.
well, and now I look back and I think when email came in, we didn't think it was going to stick, right? And then, so all of these things that have happened have empowered us in
Mm-hmm.
time.
Absolutely.
And what I love about you, Anna, is that we're giving permission
Mm-hmm.
to go all out.
Mm-hmm.
The limits are yours in the making.
Yes.
You limit yourself or you
Absolutely.
expand your view. And I want to say to anyone listening, if you're afraid of AI, you can give me a call because we
Yes.
have a class called Don't
Yeah.
Do Technology the Old Way, and I'll show
Good.
you 3 examples that will blow your mind. Not in a scary way, but in a, are you kidding me?
Yes.
Are you
Yes.
kidding me? Because what we're about is empowering women. And I'm just shocked, Anna,
Why?
that you were so um, determined
Oh.
to communicate that this is our time.
Yes.
You
Oh,
know,
absolutely.
there have been prophets, you know,
Yes.
there have been political leaders that
Yes.
had a message. Listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
And what I feel like you're saying is, listen to me.
Oh, I'm indeed saying, listen to me. In fact, in January of 2020, before COVID, and I started my AI journey probably in 2018, 2017, 2018. I didn't go hard until about 4 years ago. And that was actually I went hard. I mean, like really dive, put my head down. I went to film school for 2 years. And I went to film school with this idea to start this AI production company that I could use AI voices and actors to make movies. So
You're
in
kidding
March,
me.
no, this was my direction. I was living in Austin at the time. And also in January, because I love the Lord, okay? And in January, I believe it was January the 2nd, 2020. I've never done like a first of the year kind of prophetic word, like this is what I'm hearing. On that particular day, I just like felt so compelled that I need to tell these people what's coming. And what's coming is this whole artificial intelligence. The future is moving faster than you think. And I gave them 20 or 30 different things that I thought that we were gonna be impacted. In fact, I said, this is not a word for this year. This is a word for the next decade. Up until 2030, you're gonna see these things start to happen. And a part of that, and I get chill bumps today, is I said, it's going to move so much faster than you think. Now, I don't know how it's going to happen. I said, but from the eldest to the youngest, God is going to initiate this awareness about technology like we've never seen before. And it's going to happen quick, almost like we won't even understand it. I said, it's going to be like in an instant that the youngest child and the eldest will have to understand what technology is. And I began to tell them 5G is coming in. It wasn't here yet, and how it would begin to spread across the United States and then to nations, and then with AI and with material science and the convergence of material science, and what that is when you can take concrete and you can take rubber and you can mix them together and they make something amazing that you can build a house on Mars. I mean, there are companies that are trying to use material science to build dwelling places for Mars. And I'm just saying is that, and so during that video, I was telling people about this. Now, it was January 20th, 2020, January of 2020. 3 months later, what happens? The entire world shuts down. Something we had never seen before. What was the first thing that we reached out to? What was the first company that became a billion-dollar company almost overnight? Zoom.
Zoom.
See, if I would have been aware, I would have bought stock in January, but I didn't have the foresight of what I was saying. I didn't understand how the connection would happen, what would be required, and what was required. Not only the youngest, because there were billions, we're talking 3 billion children, or maybe it was 2 billion children around the world who needed to be educated. And then people were trying to figure out, how do we do this? How is it going to happen? We have to get them on Zoom. We have to get them on some kind of software where they can talk to each other. They can be seen. Then we had situations where people were dying and elders had to learn to use their phones. They had to learn to use their computers so that they could see their families. That knowledge didn't go away. What it did, it elevated all of humanity at the same time, whether you know it or not. Now, some of that technology continues to move forward. You know, it continues to evolve. And that's where we're seeing, when we look at this AI, and in these 3 years since 2022, this AI has exploded. Not even exploded is not the word. It has matured so fast. I got first pictures I did that looked like nothing, to now things being so realistic. This is how quickly it's moving. And I'm going to come to this point where I started. Common folks. And when I tell you this is impacting every industry, why? Because these things would take us so long. Making a movie would take long, getting actors. And when we look at Hollywood has been on the decrease for a while. It's not just going to evaporate. It's been evaporating since we had social media influencers. If you look at the top highest paid people, they're not actors. They're influencers. They're people with millions of people that are following them. So who cares about Hollywood? That won't be a fight they're going to fight longer. But I'm going to say this on your show. What is going to happen? Hollywood people, as soon as they get smart, all of the actors that are still alive today, they are somebody's going to make it. It's probably not going to be me. A true, like, avatar of that person, where they get inside of a machine. Now, I've never seen this. I'm just saying it. But they get inside of a machine, takes 3D images of that individual whole structure. And they've been doing things like this in Hollywood with special effects. I just don't know what to call it. But I'm just saying, people who are public influencers, political people, even you, it's going to come down to who? Common folks. So you're going to see in the next few years where you can trademark the sound of your voice, you can copyright your voice, your whole body, your hands, everything about it, because it's going to be a race between the real human and the avatar. The avatar is going to be able to do so much more than you can do. Like, it's just going to keep working and doing whatever, showing up and populating in different places, but it looks like you. Then you're going to have to be able to figure out what you're going to do with yourself. Because then you'll have the things you need, the money perhaps you need, to do the things that you were born to do. You didn't come here to be labor. You were not born to be labor. That is the system we are in, and that is the system that many of our people, our relatives before us have died in. But the future system is going to look different. And so I'm just here to say that. I'm just saying. That's all. I'm just saying. Don't hold me accountable, but I'm just saying. But I see the flying cars in January, flying cars in Africa. And when we apply this knowledge, You can tell I'm passionate about it. I don't mean to make the podcast go longer, but when I see Africa, the infrastructure issues that Africa has had for hundreds of years, they're going to become a very dominant player. Why? Because I don't need to dig a hole when I can fly from one place to the next. I don't need parking. I don't need trucks that's going to use fuel and all these things if I can figure out how to get electricity. That electricity might come from the air, from satellites, or from floating orbital things that reflect the sun, whatever it's going to be. All of these things will become possible because we can think about it faster with artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. These are things common folks aren't doing.
Well, I want to say when you were talking about Zoom, Rodney died in 2019. COVID happened in 20 or something like that.
2020.
My girlfriend lived in a very luxurious development for women, for people 50 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Their clubhouse shut down in one day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, they mostly live by themselves. They all had computers. They all had tablets. And I called the program director. I said, let's make the clubhouse virtual.
Yes.
Yoga can still go on. Bible
Mm-hmm.
study can still go on. Book
Yeah.
study, let's just have a Zoom link for everything, because what mattered was people stayed connected.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
thing I love in a spiritual kind of way is that authenticity
Mm-hmm.
and love
Mm-hmm.
is going to shine the brightest.
I think so. I think so.
And you can put as many avatars in a row as you want to. But if I get my hands on a human being, they're going to be cared for, they're going to be loved, and they're going to be given whatever resources they need.
Yeah. And I
So,
think let's not it's not humanity. We do have some maturing to do,
oh, yeah,
right? We have maturing to do. And probably a few years back, I said, robots and all of these things are going to come. I've always been a futurist, I think, like
I
to speak
think.
that, you know, and I wear this t-shirt all the time, future established now. And I've always felt like, I was on the edge, always on the edge in my life. Like, like when is it, something's happening, something's gonna happen. Is this it? I think AI, I feel like I was born for this.
You
Like I was
were.
born to be in this space. It doesn't matter how old I am, because I have the energy and the wisdom. All I need is a really long antenna, right? And I seek that, I let that antenna reach God, my source, right? And to help me when I'm using this technology to someone called me yesterday a decoder. Like, Anna, you're like a decoder. You don't just take this stuff at face value. You're always looking under the hood. The rest of us, we just in the car, we riding wherever it goes. And so I think that for those that are listening today, if nothing else, I pray that the energy that you're hearing across these airwaves, that it's honest. It's just so honest and pure for your dream, for your vision, for you to alleviate the pain in your life, whatever it might be, for you to see things differently, for you to examine your own self and really touch your own heart and say, you know what, I want to do this. Maybe even gather your grandchildren or your children and say, can you help me with this AI stuff? Just help me do this because it's something I've always wanted to do in my life. Can you show me how to do it, or can you do it with me? And I can tell you some of the people that have been most successful at just whether it's doing downloads, whether it's creating t-shirts, they're multi-generational. They're young children, maybe with their parents or their children or with their grandparents, great grandparents, and they're coming together because guess what? You're also in a season of storytelling. Everybody wants to hear a good story. And if
Mm-hmm.
you and your family can figure out a way to tell a great story around something that's important to you, that is what people are going to buy. They're just not buying your stuff because right now, the mind is framed it is grown accustomed to responding to stories. And so AI will help you do that too. Write that story, girl, write that story.
Well, I feel like there's this energetic buzz going on we've got, and now I don't know how to stop it. I'm like, this is so much fun and so really inspirational.
Yeah.
Right? That the
Absolutely.
future is widening
Yes.
and the opportunities are blooming. And
Yes. Take
this,
that course, ladies. Tell them to get in that course.
You said it. The
Yeah.
time is now.
Yes. And it's
Bless
when.
you.
I mean, I'll close on this if you're ready to close. You can always do a part 2. But I had a friend who died about a year ago. She was 69 years old. She had a life dream to help children, underserved, vulnerable children. She got up every day working on this dream for the last 10 years of her life. In the last 3 years of her life, when she took a class, she took an AI class with me in every class I ever taught before she died. And the reason why she took these classes, she says, I cannot afford to miss any. And her death was a unexpected diagnosis, terminal diagnosis. So she was not ready to die. She was looking forward to living. She would always say, I'm going to live till I'm 115 with this AI. Reason why she said that is because as soon as she understood what this technology did, her ability to increase, I mean, she's 69, increase the ability for her to communicate, to write more clearly, to put proposals together, to be her own lawyer, all of these things that helped her to progress and advance that passion in her heart. So if you're listening to this and you're 69, remember my friend Rose, and let the rose bloom inside of you. It's just like waiting to come alive. And I'm telling you, this one little tool can help you see greater as it relates to who you are. And we're not even talking about you, the folks that got these businesses. I know y'all need some help. And so, but the ones that are listening here and you're in this organization, you're here because you're looking for not so much transformation, you're looking for value. You're looking for your like, what is this legacy about who you are? You're looking for, if you're in her organization, that there's something on the inside of you that's not done yet.
Not done yet.
It's not done. It's not just the fact that you want to be in community and you want to be connected. Something inside of you is all stirred up when they're sitting there talking to you. They're stirred. And so it's going to be the thing that will help you gain the clarity to just move forward and execute on those things in your life.
Now, Anna, I've been chasing you down to do this conversation for 6 months.
You have.
But you know what? The time was now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being with me. It's so good to see you.
Thank you for being patient and waiting for me.
We'll do a part 2 another time.
Absolutely. Know that you're loved, appreciated, celebrated, and valued. God bless you. God bless you so much. All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Pink Lady Posse Podcast, where women go from what now to what's next. Come join us at pinkladyposse.com, where we share community, resources, and tools to support your next beautiful chapter. With love, light, and a little lipstick. See you next time.